Great, we are streaming.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Fine.
Good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, today I'm in a different location, so it's kind of weird. But this is HVRE 10-7 for 2018 for Kitty, as the name is for right now. So today we have myself, Zach, Jared, and Shay. So we got a good group ahead of us right now. So we're going to go ahead as before, as we always do, just go through the things in which we've been working on in the past, and then we'll be working on the future. And then if there's necessary conversation or understanding of what's going on, then we can have that peppered in through that as well, maybe, or even afterwards, we can do that. So I'm going to go through it first real quickly. So back to try to get something playable by the end of the month. And I believe that we reached that goal from what I could tell, because the tutorial was inside the build in which Shay made. The tutorial was inside there. And I feel like that was one of the solid pieces that we actually wanted to see. We actually also met one of the goals of being able to interact with the cat, and also a couple of things as well. So I feel like we have reached a good point on that. So I want to say thank you to everybody involved. You have done an awesome job so far and everything, and making all these pieces work. So really thank you for that.
Go team.
Yes, go team. Seriously. Like I said, it was like I was playing it, I was able to pet the cat, and then the tutorial went through, and I was like, oh, this is great. So this is really awesome to see, like, all this come together from all our thoughts and ideas finally like coming together and actually working well. So congrats to everybody. Thank you, Shay, for putting all those things together to make them work well.
Yes.
Yeah, great job, man.
Woo!
Yep. So for design. Okay. So for design, so we've been my idea was to make sure to converse with the art and technical to see if there were any systems that need to be discussed more thoroughly. I feel like that was done with the tutorial and the information that was put in the design doc, and so everything was able to work out well. If there's any other discussion that's necessary, we can talk about that later. October 14th, we decided to start a conversation on the name. So keep this in mind. That will be next week. So that we need to make sure, like we say, like, hey, keep that just going in our heads to make sure that next week we're going to be discussing that. I forgot what we agreed upon. We're going to write stuff down, all that fun stuff. But I think it's just.
Hello.
Hey, Dave. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, we got David, which I thought was before it was Jared, though. So the voices sound the same. That's right. Yeah. Welcome. We're just going through right now. Like I said, October 14th, we're gonna start the conversation on the name because we want to make sure we have a more unique name than we have now. All right, Shay, what you been working on?
Not a lot the last couple weeks. Yesterday I was sort of trying to throw a little bit more stuff into the game. Like some more stuff that Jared did, and the icon for the book Zach made, like the square, diamond, circle stuff. That I wasn't sure about, like, especially a problem with the diamond. Do we want the image, like, do we want the image for the item to be within the diamond?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The thing is, like, the diamond has to be twice the size of the square for the item to fit inside of it.
Maybe I could make the width. I could make it wider, or
It's just inherently a diamond shape is just inherently like it has to be twice as big to fit a square inside of it.
Right, because the angles.
Yeah.
Or have a smaller image.
Or have a or the other thing is the item image is half the size of the item image in the square.
So,
Right.
is there another shape that would be a better option?
How about a hexagon or something?
They say, yeah, that's a good idea, David.
Yeah. The circle also has to be bigger than the square, but it's closer.
So what is in the square that's making it like? I guess I should pull up the app and see.
It's not in the actual.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not actually in the build. Like the diamond's not actually in the build.
Okay.
Um,
Because maybe there's a way to do the
I can share my
icons so
screen
that
really
they
quick.
fit better in a diamond or in a different shape. Like,
Well, shouldn't you be able to scale the image in Unity? Like, or do so automatically so that it fits within it or something like that?
yeah, but like there's a question like, do we want the items to
As
be
small.
half the size as the when they're in a
Gotcha.
square?
I do think all the item sizes should be the same. So, but we should, like you mentioned, change the diamond maybe into like a pentagon or hexagon, and first make it in the smallest shape area, and then use that size for each of the other ones.
Yeah.
Instead of scaling it.
Or use the one that has an issue as a sizing requirement for the other shapes.
Use the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
Touch the screen real quick to see exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. Here, do I do that? That's right. This is what I had right now playing with the.
Oh, wow.
So the other thing is we could sort of try to make
PNGs instead
another
of
option. Like I was thinking with the cat, you could sort of just crop the cat to the circle.
Called masking, I guess.
Yeah, it's like we can set up so the head fits sort of nicely in there, and then have like a body that sort of just gets sort of masked and fits perfectly inside the circle.
Yeah.
So make
can
each
sort
of
of do
the
a little bit of
images
the
a
same.
little too big, and then you can mask out what you don't need.
Yeah, you can sort of do the same thing with the items in the diamond also.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'd like maybe lose a little bit of some of the images. So what are those? Those are for toys, I think, right? So I don't know.
My worry is I want to make sure that it's actually understandable exactly what that item is, because even if you mask it out, I still want to make sure that
Like, cause I wonder if like if you see like 90% of, like if it where's
What if you did a background color for each of the frames? So like as she has it in with the mouse and the diamond right now, what if with where it's gray in the back, what if you had associated that with a color better or a pattern to better help?
We decided to omit color because we have color everywhere else, and we don't want like a whole new color system for these, which is why we chose shapes.
yeah, we wanted to do the shapes because we want to make sure that the shapes are the same shapes in which we see in the game itself. Differentiate between the two and not be confused about it. All right, so that looks
like if you had something like that and you cut off so you'd like cut off a little bit of the tail and the nose.
For the mouse, I don't know about that because the nose is like helps you identify what it is.
So that would be the lowest common denominator, the diamond, right? So you'd scale that image
But-
down just a little bit so that it, like would be understandable. And then in the square, it's probably going to be have a little bit more negative space.
Mhm.
Does that make
You
sense?
can
That's-
also tilt it a little bit to the right if you can.
Tilted, then you have to tilt everything. And if the
Yeah.
shapes are different, then they might actually be a different, like they might actually, that
Well, I
might
mean,
make it worse or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
the thing is, the problem with the diamond is the diamond is sort of a square that's rotated 45 degrees.
Uh,
If we rotate everything 45 degrees, it would fit in there better. But I think it'll look a little weird.
yeah, I don't like that. It's just, that's me though.
But
But
it's always for toys, right?
Yes. So this right now it's
So just draw the toys with the diamond in mind. Like, maybe there's a way we can do that better. I don't know.
I mean, like with the mouse, you basically just, I don't know. It basically just has to be smaller.
Yeah.
Mhm.
if it's worth it to redo a couple of the images for the toys or whatnot, possibly. But
And also,
I-
the
What do you
diamond could
think,
be a little
Zach?
bit better, I think. The diamond could be a little more square.
What if the shapes were just like icons next to the images rather than trying to fit it around or inside or anything? Just kind of a uniform spot, and like the toy has the
Well-
icon up and to the right of it or something like that.
They're kind of buttons. So the shape sort of helps reinforce that language so people know to click on it. Because the image by itself might be a little bit too, it just looks like an image.
So if
even if the image there might just, yeah, like you said, it's an image you think that it's not clickable. So the idea we need to show that's actually clickable by using the shapes.
Yeah.
I think
Said
also, like that helps a little bit.
mhm.
it does help a little bit.
Making it more square helps a little bit.
That's an option. Another option is to think about each of the objects and take screenshots of them depending on their size. Like this is more of a side 3/4 view. If you take a picture of the mouse from more of a front view, so the width is smaller.
Yeah. To make all the images of the toys a little bit less square, a little more narrow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or we could just change it into a pentagon or a hexagon.
I have to
I
say,
love hexagons.
yeah, I have.
There's
I feel like so. Which takes the more? What there is more effort in making new art for the more images for all the pieces of the toys, and it'd just be more easy to change the shape of the button itself. That's what I would say. I conclude that we should probably do is just change the button itself to make sure that it's large enough, be useful for all the toys that are being put into it, all the toy images that are being put into it. So
Yep.
I would say let's change the shape of that button type to somebody said hexagon or
Yeah, I'll do a hexagon.
so you got to bear with me.
Probably an octagon, like a stop sign.
Yeah.
Because then you're just adding, like,
Well,
cut
a
off
hexagon
corners.
we still work better than the no, pentagon will work better than a hexagon. Or reverse that. Reverse what I said. I got my shapes mixed up. Just because you have a little bit more space on the edges than what you do right now, close to the circle.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You said a hexagon would be better than an octagon?
Yes, just because an octagon gets real close to the circle, and so if someone's doing like a quick glance over, they may hit the wrong thing.
Oh, you mean resembles a circle?
Exactly.
It's kind of like the exact middle between square and circle. Not really, but.
Well, good point. All right. So are we in agreement for a hexagon possibly?
You're breaking out. Did you break out?
A
Purple?
hexagon possibly.
No, he didn't break out for me.
Must be me.
Yes, on the hexagon.
Yes, on the hexagon.
All right. Anybody other?
It's
Or
honestly the most efficient geometric pattern found in nature. So
say yes on the hexagon too, and then we'll just decide that we'll decide to go. Actually, we have 6 people here, so I guess we need one more person, but I don't know. Yeah, we're a democracy.
Go for it.
So it works.
We have
All
4
right.
votes.
Hexagon it is. So Shay, go ahead and change the shape. Or actually, Zach, go ahead and make a hexagon shape and send it to Shay, and then we'll change all the buttons for the be like that. All right.
I'll upload that today.
What? Okay. So what else? What else, Shay? What you're doing in the technical?
That's all I've really been doing. I did that, and also, by the way, at the moment, so ultimately I was using like the images. So for the ingredients, sort of the materials, whatever we call them, the probably a good workflow maybe to still make the 3D stuff to make a 2D screenshot of it. But just so you know, we're not actually using those in 3D anymore at the moment. Just wanted to point that out.
Again?
All the like material, the crafting materials and whatever they are, we're not actually using those in 3D at the moment. But I do like the sort of look of the making them in 3D and then using that as their.
Yes, of course, of course.
Um,
Oh yes, continue with that look and everything, and using those and everything. That's perfect. I agree with that. Okay. Awesome. So do you have any? I guess. So is that all you have for technical, Shay?
yeah. Like I said, I haven't done a lot last 2 weeks. Been busy.
You moved and everything.
Yeah.
So, all right, Art, what's been going on?
Okay. Before I start, a quick note before I forget. The color, like the purplish blue color behind the all the items on the tabs in the book, can we make that a little less saturated?
Is there any way we can show an image of that?
I can go back to my screen.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that is.
That bluish purple background behind the icons on the right, just a little less saturated.
Yeah.
Oh, so so it shows more of a
lavender color.
Just right now, because it's sort of making the images vibrate, like that kind of. Yeah.
The light color.
Right. That looks good.
Okay. Yeah. The thing was, yeah. Also, if you look closely, I wanted to like get rid of this line in the middle. The idea is that they're supposed to be like a connected thing.
Oh, that it's a tab and not a button on the side.
Yeah.
It kind of has the feel of a clipboard right now. When I was playing with it yesterday.
Oh, with the top thing and all. Yeah. Well, that was a big thing we wanted to do soon, was get a better looking book, 3D book.
Yes, that's it. Okay, so that's on my task for this week. But
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right. Very cool.
Do you want to share your screen, Zach?
Sure.
While you talk about stuff.
One sec. All right, so for the past couple weeks, Jared was having issues with Medium. I think other people were too. So we weren't able to continue work on the cat modeling, but he pumped out some models for some of the treats and toys, such as the sword in the stone for the Night Kitty right here.
Nice.
So that's finished. It's gonna need some animation. So once we're ready to start that, David, you can ask me if you have any questions.
Okay.
So I made a note on the concept page, but the cat would bat at it, and it would sort of just jiggle back and forth a little bit, and that's its basic. That's how it maneuvers. Then Jared modeled sushi.
That's awesome.
And piece 2. So.
Did we want the actual little plate that the sushi goes in? Also.
Oh yeah.
Like Zach drew.
Okay, I'll add that.
It should be pretty easy.
Little box with little gold design on the front. And he did the s'mores. So we have an unroasted and a roasted s'mores, and that's in progress. Jared, you said you're gonna do some meshing fixes. Right?
Yeah, I think making it look roasted is pretty hard with the tools in blocks. So I'd like to get a little more fine grained and make it look a little gooier, smoother, and then actually maybe paint it a little bit. It'll be easier to actually get to the models where I start taking chunks out of it in Medium as well. So that should be, Medium should be fixed very soon. He's working
I
on.
think I just lost everybody.
Huh? Hello?
Oh, we hear you, David.
I don't know. Oh, well.
I can hear him.
I can hear you, David. You're good.
Anyway, I'll pull those into Medium. That should be available to me again this week. I'm hoping get a new release of Libra VR. And yeah, that's it.
All right, yeah, they are looking really good.
I'm just spinning it around right now. Jared, I was gonna say if you wanted to possibly change you want to make it gooey and stuff like that, so you can go ahead and do that. I was going to suggest possibly change the texture, but I don't think that actually would help. We need to make it like it's actually roasted and all that fun stuff. So forget what I was thinking about.
No, that's part of my goal actually. When I pull it into Medium, I'll paint it a little bit better so it looks better toasted.
All right, cool. And they would be on like a simple dish, like a little white plate.
Yep.
And then let's see, David, were you able to make any progress on animations?
Oh, yes. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to share the screen here real quick. All right, so there we go. All right, so this is a sitting one. I changed it up a bit from before. So a little bit more of the foot movement there and the tail kind of coming around to the side.
Nice.
And then with that, taken from the sitting position, small light tail wag. I'm gonna have it add in like its head kind of tilting a little bit, but be able to know a short little idle animation as well.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get that cat in there. It's funny. I was showing my kids the app, the latest build, and
But yeah, so I'm hoping that this week I'll be able to add that in there, and then hopefully do at least maybe like a standing idle as well. Try to get that in by the end of the week.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, you were Jared. You were showing your kids Blender.
no, I was showing my kids the app, the actual app
Really?
on the
Awesome.
phone, and they looked at it and
They'll see it soon. They'll see it soon. That's awesome.
Yeah.
David,
it's exciting.
and I know this is something that's really new for you, so you're doing really well with it. Really good. Awesome. Oh my God, I'm smiling. I'm sorry. All this stuff just makes me so happy to see this. Let me see.
It is exciting. And
Yeah. Go
just
ahead.
to finish up what we did, I did a few variations for the particle effect path that we could use. So using a bright and darker color, like a brighter path and then a glow around that path to make it stand out. Trying different maybe circular particle effects or more sparkly particle effects or diamonds. So the very, like, I guess you could say the front or the head of it would be the most prominent, and then it would fade away. And I tried some different things. Like in the third one, the particle effect ends at its destination or the icon where you're supposed to press the button. And then some of the diamonds continue to sparkle around that icon until you press it. So this is basically to help you, Shay, when thinking thinking about how to make this a little bit more visually impressive.
So I guess I'm not seeing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's really good. Because we want to see exactly like how that could work and everything. So yeah, so thank you for making that, Zach. I really appreciate that, because if we can show exactly how we want to make that look, then we can make it look like that. It really
right.
Our joy to be around.
And having the outlines and everything consistent. So each of the 3 examples, like the bowl is outlined the same way as the button or the icon. So make it a little more cohesive.
I have to say, I think I liked how the top one reads the best, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Top one?
Yeah, the top one.
Yeah.
I think it reads most clearly.
Definitely the outline I like better. I don't like the middle one outline. I don't like as much. I like the sort of. It has like almost like 2, like a light color and then a darker purple on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom one is a harder, darker outline, and the top one is a softer. So that's a basic change.
Good job. Does this help, Shay?
Yeah. So we like the. Well, I don't know. Nothing quite has the trail like that right now.
Yeah, it'd be like a path of some sort.
Like
Could you make a model? Oh, I'm sorry.
I just know, like, just what. So was that like trail for? Like you have a trail going to the button? Was that actually a thing we're gonna do? What is that?
Whatever's in the tutorial. He's just illustrating, like, if it goes to the button and the button's the next thing you need to look at, or if it goes to, like, the book in general, the whole book would highlight. If you're putting it in the food dish would highlight. And if we needed the sparkle movement, like we had talked about in the tutorial on the document, the game document, that would be sort of what we were talking about. But this is, I don't think that actually
This is not going. This isn't illustrating something that actually happens in the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying. I think right now the only place I have a sort of trail is when you
Open the box.
when you do the when you accept the letter.
Yeah.
There's a trail to the book.
The book.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so the whole book would be highlighted.
Right.
that's what it looks. That's what.
Yeah. And then once you open the book, it'll just use the outline to highlight, and maybe some of that sparkle that he's got there to sort of make it shimmer a little bit. Might be nice. Kind of like on the bottom one where it's shimmering around the highlight. Not necessarily the whole trail, but like if something needs to be, if it's next in the tutorial, then having a few sparkles on it might be nice just to kind of give it some flair.
Yeah. So the trail gets to the destination. The sparkles appear around the destination, and the trail fades away.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Sounds difficult.
Could you do like a
Sorry, I
sphere
had a-
that leaves a glow trail or something like that?
What? Say it again.
Uh,
Say it. Zach, can you say that again?
Oh, I mean, the head could be like a sphere, a glowing sphere that leaves a glowing white trail.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to suggest too.
The head of the trail is like something that's actually like almost like a solid like towards it or something like that. Maybe that's what you're trying to show.
Yeah.
Like a shooting star situation.
You break out. Like you're going in and out a lot.
Apologies. Let me make sure that I'm speaking closely to the mic now. The idea
That was
sounds
weird.
like a shooting star.
I guess similar to that.
That could work. I just never considered it before. So it's up to, I mean, should it be up to you exactly like how that look can feel? Well, I'm sorry, it's up to Zach and Shay combining together to see exactly how that look can feel. Also based upon like capabilities of the engine itself and see it, because that should work.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I don't know what you mean. There wouldn't have much of like a real big sphere at the head of it. I don't think you'd have like it'd sort of be like that, like what Zach has there, where it's sort of the thickest point of the line at the front, but
Yes.
not terribly big. And then you'd have at the head of it, you'd have the sparkles.
That sounds right.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Alrighty. Did you have anything else, Zach?
That is it for what we've done.
Awesome. All right. I'm close to the mic again, so if I'm too loud, let me know. Sound department. But the goal was to keep in mind that we need to decide on the final background music coming up in the future. And so after like been listening to all of them over the past, like listening to Cliff's, listening to Chris's, and then listening to Greg's and whatnot, I came up with two things. The idea was that I liked Greg's music because I felt like it fit what we were looking for, and also we were able to give him feedback for what we were thinking about, what we thought could actually match it well. If we want, we can try to figure out how to use all the music we've gotten and then or whatnot too. It depends. But the thing is that I think for the solid background music, if it was to be chosen, I would think we should go with Greg's.
Well,
Anybody
would we have
else?
like I actually haven't had a chance to listen to it. Who's listened to it?
Yeah, I've listened to it.
You listened to it? Do they
It's
sound
been a while.
anything alike?
I need to listen to them again. It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Clips was in the beginning like more. I remember Clips was a little darker, I guess, like tone wise, and then we had I think his name was crap, I forget. He was on the project for a bit. I want to make sure I get his name right. He was Jared's friend. I forget his name. So sorry.
Vayer, Chris.
Oh, I was right, Chris. Yes, Chris. So yes, all right. I don't feel bad anymore. So Chris also has some music as well. He posted there, but I felt like in the end, Greg was able to.
The reason that I ask if they're anything alike is because if they at least sound like they can be part of the same app, then we can possibly use them for different parts or different levels, or like the main menu before you start. You know, maybe we have
There's
a
not really
splash.
a menu right now.
Eventually, we have a startup screen before they start the game, and then once they're in the game, the music can change. Huh?
Did we want to do that? So I thought we had one, and then I thought we talked about going straight into AR.
So it could just be Sparkle Kitty with a start button, but just to kind of get you in the game. It doesn't need to give you like a walkthrough, like talk to you thing, but just hey, you're actually in this app. When you want to start, hit go. Right now, we just sort of like jump into, we're trying to find a spot to put this, but it might be nice if there was like whatever logo we come up with and a start button at least. And maybe a credits button so people can see the credits. But we might want different music in there, and then, you know, when the player's playing, like maybe the music changes as the mood of the cat changes. Those are some options too. Like once they get below green, maybe it changes to the darker music. I don't know, just some thoughts.
Could be, as long as we can make that transition work, like smooth, annoying.
Just kind of give a quick vote on them.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm not too particular about it, but if you want to try to vote for just one, that's cool. If you want to have two, one for the menu and then one for gameplay, that's cool. If they sound anything alike, if they're totally different styles, then it probably wouldn't make sense. But
I think they're pretty different.
I mean, they can be somewhat different. Let's see.
Okay. Well.
Is that the old? Okay.
So which do you guys want to listen to these?
So, yeah, we currently have Spark_track number 2 in the game, right?
All I see is mailbox opening, bouncing ball, and then toy winding up. Is it Cat VR3?
Leonard just posted a link in this group chat, in the HVRE project meeting chat.
Oh, okay. I've got
that. That's the one I'm familiar with. Spark Track 2 is the one I think that's in the game.
The track number 1 sketch, I don't know if that fits as well with the other two. Like, I feel like we could see.
Sorry, did I just kill you guys? I pressed play and it was really loud. I was wondering if I like totally over.
Nope.
Nope.
I couldn't hear it.
Oh, okay.